That's it, man. 5-day countdown.
That's it.
5-day countdown is on point. Today we are talking about Ford rethinking 2030 again, Tesla's two-way charging advantage, and a Malibu sunset. I've never seen a Malibu sunset, but this will be our first.
This will be my first.
Have you ever been to Malibu? I haven't.
No.
I've spent very little time in California.
Yeah, I mean, I've been up and down the California coast, but never
Malibu sunset.
exactly in Malibu. Like I was South LA and San Diego, basically. Is
Yeah,
where
that's pretty much all I've ever been to as well. I've been in Napa for passion events a couple times.
Oh yeah.
So San Francisco north. And
But
San
most of the sunsets in California are very similar. They're incredible. Is the way that goes. So
wait a minute. The sun doesn't set over the ocean.
What are you talking about?
Because the sun sets in the. Am I wrong? I'm wrong. Oh yeah. You know, it's backwards. It just takes me a minute.
It's okay. We got you there.
I'm like, I feel like I've seen a sunset on the. I've seen sunrises on the ocean. Right. I see sunsets at my house.
Well, if you've been to Tampa, you've seen the sunset on the ocean.
Oh, maybe that's confusing.
Yeah, that'll get you. You're like, but I'm in Florida, isn't this?
We have seen a lot of great Tampa sunsets, actually.
It's true.
Over the years. Oh,
man. Over the years.
Without a doubt, man. We are just so buried in details right now. It's hard to think straight.
It is.
But it's good. I feel like we're ready. I mean, obviously, all the little details. We found out one of our swag shipments is caught up in an international customs. It's not a sting. It's just an inspection. But it feels more important that it's a sting. It's not. So, you know, little stuff like that. It's just going to come up as you get close to events. But all the big pieces are coming.
It's going to be those little things.
Dude,
it's all coming together.
We're creeping on 500 people already. And like tickets still coming in this morning. I log in and I see all the tickets being registered. I'm like, yes. Still filling up.
People coming. Yeah. I think we're pacing close to 500 people being there, which will be just nuts.
Yeah.
It'll be so fun.
Oh yeah. It's going to feel full, packed, happy. Learn things, go back things, make relationships with things. Thank you to our co-sponsoring, presenting sponsors, Gubagoo and Reynolds, for helping us make ASOTU CON 2024 happen. It's all about setting the stage, setting the table for an amazing meal. Will Guidera is going to be there, the author of Unreasonable Hospitality. Getting so excited. My wife has been reading Unreasonable Hospitality, so every night, like in bed, she's got like the book open. She looks like Richie from The Bear, you know, like reading Unreasonable Hospitality. And she just keeps pulling out parallels for family, for business, for what we do at ASOTU. And it's just really cool to like infuse that culture into the ASOTU culture and just watch that thing just spin right up. So if you can be in Baltimore, May 14th through 17th, it's actually 15th, 16th, just do it. Just do it. Make it happen. Go to ASOTUcon.com, check out everything. And before you know it, we're just going to be showing you sessions and posts about how it went. So be there.
Don't miss out.
All right.
Hit FOMO on the late buy.
Speaking of the late buy.
Stop. Segway.
Long.
Never thought I'd be able to use this twice in 1 week. Oh, but earlier in the week, it was Lincoln who was rethinking things, and now Ford's parent company is pumping the brakes overall in their all-electric pledge by the year 2030 in Europe, of all markets, adjusting to slower than expected uptake of EVs across the continent. Ford originally committed in 2021 to sell only EVs by 2030, outpacing all the EU emissions goals. Now they might extend sales of ICE vehicles if demand persists as it is, and the company reports a softer demand for EVs than anticipated, prompting a reevaluation. To this point, Ford has invested $2 billion in converting its Cologne, France factory for electric vehicle production, with new EV models set to launch from there soon. In response to the UK, they had some very strict ZEV mandates. They are going to limit ICE vehicle sales rather than incur losses on Ford electric sales. So Martin Sander, head of Ford's passenger cars business in Europe, said, "We're not going to pay penalties. We're not. We're not going to sell electric vehicles at huge losses just to buy compliance." So basically they're stepping back to saying we're not going to sell EVs at a loss.
Which money do you want to lose? You know?
Yeah, penalties is not it.
Yeah.
Penalties is not it. Isn't it funny? It feels like capitalism is working in Europe.
I feel like we have to move on to the next.
I mean, consumers are consumers. We have a sticker that says it, right?
Don't do what consumers
right.
do,
You can tell them they have to buy it, but at the end, they're like, unless I have to, like by law.
What's interesting on this story to me is that it's the Europe-based organization that's saying this, because EVs have been said to be picking up more quickly in Europe, shorter driving distances,
and they are,
a little bit different, like incentives to move that way,
better charging infrastructure,
infrastructure, so it is like, that's actually more shocking to me than if they came out and were like, the US, we're not even going to make electric vehicles. For that to be the change in Europe, is just like, that's overspill on what we're already seeing here in the US. So, kudos to Ford for just listening to the customer. We saw GM do this. We saw Lincoln do this. It's just like the dominoes are falling. And here's what we keep saying. We know alternative fuel vehicles are coming. Yeah. They are great for some portions of the population right now. They will be for more later. But demanding the market by regulation is not the way to go. We've seen that over and over, and it's great that we're seeing more manufacturers listen to the consumer. Yeah, kudos.
There you go. I don't think it could end any better than that. Let's talk about some dominoes falling. Tesla is enhancing its competitive edge with a new bi-directional charging technology. They're setting the stage for significant advances and positioning itself as an energy business. Tesla is introducing bi-directional charging with the Cybertruck, first Tesla vehicle able to send power both ways. And their whole bi-directional charging ecosystem, like we know, like the Ford F-150 Lightning's doing this, some other vehicles, but Tesla's ecosystem to do this is substantially cheaper than any other platform by a lot, because they have been developing Powerwall technology and things like that for a long time. So basically, they've been showcasing the higher profitability in the energy sector than in their automotive sector, meaning their profit margin, profit percentage on their energy business is actually now higher than its automotive business. And they're expecting to boost their storage deployments by at least 75% this year. They also have what they call an auto bidder, BIDDER platform, where they can sell power from the vehicles back to the grid at peak times to produce a revenue stream or offset charging costs for Tesla owners. They're saying this could disrupt their Powerwall sales, which is the big battery pack you can have installed in your house, Powerwall, because now maybe I don't need a Powerwall if I have a big battery inside this vehicle that can function the same way. A quote from Bivev Taneja, CFO of Tesla, says, "We're aiming to exploit the significant storage capacity with an expected increase of energy storage deployments by at least 75% this year." And they're not a car company.
They're definitely not. Well, a portion of their business is selling cars.
The biggest portion right now, the biggest revenue driver.
The biggest revenue driver. Revenue drivers will shift to data, will shift to energy, will shift to multi-vertical revenue streams, which is something that they have had a strategy from the very beginning, right? Like Tesla selling like roofing shingles to provide energy. Remember that?
Yep.
It's still a small part of their business.
Oh, I want those so bad.
Oh, I know. It's so cool. But this is, and my only commentary on this is, watch Tesla as a business owner to see how you should be looking at multi-vertical approaches to revenue strategies that create optionality when one of those revenue strategies has a deficiency, right? And that's what they're doing, and they have done for years and years. Is vehicle sales dip? Oh, here we go with another revenue strategy opportunity that doesn't require vehicle sales, right? Data, all of those pieces, like as a business ops thing, huge. But also, when you look at just like selling against this for dealers, your people have to be aware that the value prop of a Tesla is more than just, does it get me back and forth to work? And they're leaning in on that value prop. So you have to be able to talk to that and against that, whether you're selling them used or whether you're selling against them on the new side.
For sure. Fixed stops. Fixed stops. We're going to be talking a lot about fixed stops, actually, at ASOTU CON.
We are going to talk a lot about fixed stops.
I mean, because You can't have a fixed ops department unless at one point you you service the Chevy Malibu.
Stop.
Oh,
A lot of those in the service. I used to be a service writer at a GM dealership, and we saw a Malibu or two. We're ending the show. Oh, this is you. This is
you go. You got this. You got this. I feel like this is just like, I don't know why, but
I
this
feel
is
like
like
there's
core to your
music.
heart because I'm sure you fixed so many Chevy Malibus over the
Definitely.
years.
Oh boy. Todd Caputo. Let's tell you the story first. We're ending the show today with a fond farewell to a vehicle that started off as cool back in the 60s and muscly, and then developed a dad bod to be more utilitarian as GM is bidding farewell to the Chevy Malibu after 6 decades in a shift in its focus to EVs. They're stopping production of the Malibu in November, making way for a significant investment to produce the Chevy Bolt EV at its Kansas City plant, which is currently developing the Malibu or producing it. They sold over 10 million Malibus globally. That's a couple vehicles.
Wow.
It's the end of an era, leaving the Corvette, get this, as the final, last gas-powered car in Chevy's lineup. Yeah. The third was the Camaro. Discontinued that. Malibu, discontinue it. Corvette, last one standing. How about that? Basically, GM just says they're making room for a big investment in the updated Chevy Volt, which is going to be released on the Ultium platform now. Maybe May 9th is special to GM. Apparently, I saw this in our daily email. If you don't get it, you should. ASOTU.com. Sign up for free. Happens to be the same day, May 9th in 1969, when GM announced the end of the Corvair.
Whoa, what a car.
So I don't know. They're putting them down. Todd Caputo posted a little ode to the Malibu on his LinkedIn profile. Talked about affordability and how manufacturers may have missed the mark. But Todd Caputo, let me just tell you, he was the guy who was like 200 to choose from. You know what I mean? Like he bought every off-rental Malibu.
For years and years, 11 grand was like the going price of any Chevy Malibu that was 3 model years or older, right? Yep. Like it was just,
he literally priced them all the same too.
Yeah,
he was like, take your pick, 11 grand.
$200 a month, 72-month payment, right? It was just right up the gut. Get a service contract on it and you were good to go. If you have never driven past a lot, if you never felt or felt the understanding of driving past a lot with like a lineup of white, purple, and red Chevy Malibus, it just seemed like those just always hung out for quite some time, all lined up perfect on the front line, trying to get out of there. I just remember that, like that's nostalgia for me. And kind of wild that it's going to be gone. I'm kind of,
oh my gosh, but it is. All good things must come to an end. I don't know if this show is good or not to you, but it's coming to an end. We have just a couple more days, 5 more days to ASOTU CON. Check it out at ASOTUCON.com. But if not, just sign up for the email, ASOTU.com. Trying to take care of you.